Hey, what's up everyone? It's Sam from canoetrippers.com. I just got back from work and I wanted to show you what food I was going to bring on my trip, which is coming up on Monday. And I also just wanted to go over the trip because circumstances have kind of changed a bit. I'm not sure if you're aware of what's going on in Ontario right now. There's actually not an extreme, but there is a heavy rain alert for the area. We're getting about 70 millimeters of rain, and we've already been getting rain before that. And so the ground's really saturated, so there's a lot of water. I think Lake Ontario water levels are as high as they've been in a few decades. So it's definitely, it's a little bit of a damper on the trip, a little bit, because it is supposed to rain pretty well right up until Monday, and then Monday right now is kind of a little dicey. So I actually had a few people from our group that kind of expressed a little bit of concerns. Right now, I think it's supposed to get down to -4. So it could be snowing when we get out on the lakes canoeing. So I noticed the other day that I lost some of my gear. I lost my tarp, my Sil Nylon Mech guide tarp, and I also lost my Mech Tarn 3 tent. So definitely sort of a big loss. I know I lost it. I had moved places last August, and I guess I didn't notice that my gear was gone even on my trip in September. So I guess because I didn't do too many trips last year, so definitely a little bit of a bummer. So I go on a lot of trips with my buddy named Mike. He ended up picking up a kind of more like a shoulder season tent, so it's not as well ventilated, so it will be a little bit warmer. There's a bit more sidewalls than mesh itself, and I have a more like summerish tent. It's all no-see mesh and with the fly, so it definitely a lot cooler of a tent if it does get hot, which it is not for this trip. It's supposed to get down to -4. And so I had to pick up a new tarp, so I'll show that quick. It had good reviews on Amazon, so I ordered this on Amazon. I'll be trying it out for the weekend. It's called AquaQuest. So stay tuned for how this tarp holds up, because it's definitely going to be an important piece. Not that it's supposed to rain on Tuesday or Wednesday, but Monday it's calling for a 30% chance of precipitation. So I think that means that if it does rain, it's going to be more in the morning. And I think it's going to be kind of off the tail of this system that's moved in that's causing the rain warning for the next few days. So I'm hoping that's what the 30% chance of precipitation is. So we might be canoeing in a flurry or in a bit of rain. But by the time we get to camp, set everything up, I'm hoping that it's going to sort of dry out a bit, and that it's not going to be raining, because -4 degrees and rain is no joke. So yeah, -4 degrees and rain in the evening is no joke. So we're definitely taking it a little bit more serious this trip in terms of some of the gear that we're bringing. We are going to be bringing a few more items for wood processing to get wood processed a lot quicker. So my buddy Mike has an axe. He'll be bringing the axe. I'll be bringing a buck saw, and I have a hand saw, and I have that huge Kershaw knife, and then I also have one of my smaller Sandvik knives that I'll be bringing. So definitely will be a lot of wood processing in this trip. So I've already rambled on for, it looks like, about 4.5 minutes. So I'm gonna go into my food, which I think is kind of fun, because I don't have a lot of freeze-dried items, and I don't have a lot of items that I've pre-prepared. So this is kind of a good, maybe just a good video for if you just got into canoe tripping and you're not preparing your own dehydrated meals, and you kind of want to get some sort of idea of what to bring on your trip. So I'm going to share what works for me, and I'm sure some people will have comments below as to what works for them. So I will start with the items that I'm going to have in the freezer prior to the trip, and those items are I have 8 6-ounce burgers that we're bringing that we're gonna cook on the fire on the first night. And so there's 2 burgers for each people, 6 ounces. It's a pound of meat, more than enough. And if there's any left over, we can eat it up in the morning, or the next day for lunch, because it's going to get down to -4. So it is freezing temperature. So these will stay frozen. So 8 6-ounce burgers, and I also got a pack of Red Hots. These are just standard. These are 12 Red Hots, so 3 Red Hots each, I guess. Sorry, that's my, I gotta replace the battery on my smoke detector. So 3 hot dogs each, more than enough. We don't have any buns for them, so we'll just do like spider dogs or something directly over the fire. Or I'll let you know what else we can do with this in a second. So 2 frozen items right off the bat. The items that I have refrigerated, I have a whole block of butter, which is more than enough butter for the trip, but sometimes you might want to cook fish in butter instead of oil. On the second morning that we are going to be there, I'm going to do a sort of just scrambled eggs with some peppers in it. So definitely need the butter for scrambled eggs. And now I know you can get those egg cartons that you can get those yellow egg protectors that I'm sure you've seen, but pretty cool that just works just as well. I found these at the grocery store, and these eggs are actually kind of in there's 6 of them, and they're in a bit sort of an insulated plastic case. So there's kind of, it looks like there's 2 layers to this plastic casing. So there's a cushion of air between the eggs, and I think this is going to hold up no problem in the food barrel. So I forgot to mention, all of this stuff will fit into a 60-liter food barrel, no problem, along with our adult beverages that we will be bringing. That I'm not going to show, but I think we have a few beers for each day. So definitely need the 60-liter, even though this doesn't look like a lot of food. We have a 60-liter food barrel, so we will be using that to the full extent. Hold on, my phone's ringing. Whew, sorry about that, phone rang. So like I was saying with the refrigerated foods, I only have 3 things that need refrigerating. And because of the low temperatures overnight and stuff, I'm not worried at all. These are gonna stay nice and cool in the food barrel. So I will bring you along to our breakfast pack. So in here is enough oatmeal for 2 packs per person. And I also have some Earl Grey tea in here, some chai tea, coffee for the mornings. I have some coffee whitener and some sugar, and so that all kind of fits in a nice Ziploc bag, no problem at all. I also bought, I also have here some cooking oil. This is just canola oil to cook our fish in, if we don't want to use butter. I have some chocolate coated wafers, kind of as a snack. I might hide in my pack and bring it out on the last night. For lunches, this is our lunch pack here. So in here I have some soup, and the idea is that I can just kind of take this lunch pack with me when we set up base camp. Then on the second day, I can just grab this food and take this food with us and leave the barrel hanging probably at camp. And so in here, like I said, I have some soup, we have some craft dinner, and so, sorry about that beeping, it's my smoke detector, I need to change the batteries. So I have some craft dinner, and I can probably also get some hot dogs. I can put the hot dogs in the KD, along with, I will need to bring the butter along with us for when we're out on the second day, away from our base camp. And I also have some M&M peanuts in there, and then the fish batter. And then I have some extra large freezer Ziploc bags, the same size as this one, to mix the fish in. So I'll probably need to bring the oil and the butter and some hot dogs with me on the second day when we leave our base camp. That's kind of the idea, and then that way, if we get stuck out on a long day, we have soup to make, we have KD, or if we need to cook up some hot dogs as well. And there's also some water purification pills in this as well. There's some in the breakfast bag as well. So we kind of have a lot of purification pills kind of scattered out, and then I also have some in my life jacket and kind of handy in my pack. So plenty of water purification pills just in case to be hydrated on the go. I have these pristine ones. They're not iodine. These ones actually treat it with chlorine, which is kind of cool, or sodium dichlorocyanurate, NADCC, I guess, whatever the heck that is. So I also have potatoes that are nice and small, so they will cook quick. And then I found some mini sweet potatoes, which were interesting. And I do like having sweet potatoes on my trip, so yeah, it says new, try it, you'll love it. So I will let you know if I love it. This is kind of like a little pack towel that I picked up to wash dishes with. I don't get chips in bags, obviously. Get Pringles is my recommendation, so you're not digging out chip crumbs from the bag from getting squashed. I have enough hamburger buns for 8 of the burgers. And then I did get a lot of produce as well. So there's 2 lemons, 4 apples, there's 2 red peppers, 2 oranges, and 4 bananas. And it's very bulky food. Normally I would just say like go with a gorp or something, but it has a lot of water content in a lot of the fruits as well. So since we're not too worried about weight, since only one of us needs to carry the food barrel, once you start eating all your produce, you're basically cutting the weight in half anyway. So I'm not worried about having bulky produce items. Normally you could just bring dehydrated fruits and veggies, but I mean, there's nothing better than having the fresh things. So that's it. That's pretty well all the food that we are bringing, other than obviously I've told people to bring their own granola bars and snacks. About some of the things that you can bring. Again, you don't need to get into, fancy dehydrating and stuff like that for some of your canoe trips. Especially if, like me, if there's 4 people going and there's essentially 2 pairs. So someone can carry the food bag and a heavier bag, and then the other person can carry one of the lighter packs in the canoe, and we can still one carry the portages. I don't think we're gonna have any problems one carrying things on our way to the base camp. We only have the one portage. It's about 400 meters, and then after that we get to put all of our packs down for the second day. We can go explore some of the really nice brook trout lakes that we want to get into, and I think it's gonna be great. So again, if you found this helpful at all, I know there might be some people that are looking at getting into canoe tripping for the first time, and they think they need to buy all these, all this freeze-dried and dehydrated food, for, 13 or 14 bucks. You don't. You can get some bulkier items. You just need to plan for it with canoeing. I mean, obviously, if this were a hiking trip, you wouldn't be able to get away with this, because this is a lot of gear, even for 4. This is definitely heavier food for 4 people. But for canoe tripping, I would experiment with things, right? The next video you will see, I will be hopefully not out in a blizzard, and hopefully it's not too cold, but I have a tarp now, and yeah, just hopefully, I think it's still gonna be a great trip. So to say a few more things, I know the pressure right now, it's still dropping, or it's still falling. So I'm hoping by the time that it's Monday, I hope that we have a rising air pressure, and I hope that the fishing's good, because this is a fishing trip. So I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we're looking to just get away from work and have a relaxing time. It would be nice to know that if we are going to freeze our asses off in -4-degree weather, that we catch some trout. So here's hoping that the fishing's good. I will catch you guys in probably about a week's time. I have a pretty busy next week. So anyway, again, if you like this at all, if you found it helpful, subscribe, like, comment. You will be getting a lot of trips. I am planning on doing about 5 trips this year. I want to get out to the French. I want to get out to another Algonquin trip. My dog Cordo and I are doing a solo trip. Anyway, super excited for a trip. It's going to be cold, but I will see you guys hopefully within a week. So thanks, guys. Have a good one.